It's Pete here, and we're back for all the action from the World Championship. And today there are lots of really important clashes between top teams and also some really interesting upsets. But let's jump in. And the first match I want to highlight is Norway versus Poland. And the first question I've got for you is, we've got this decent hand in the West, but what would you actually open it? It's got 22 high card points, and it's a 5-4-3-1 shape, and it's right around that point of you want to open two clubs, but when you've got a two-suited hand, often it can be a bit difficult to actually show your shape and express everything with a two club opening. So sometimes opening one at the one level can be good. And here they opened one heart and they got a 3 heart bid, which looked like it was a 4 card weak raise. And then they started Q bidding, and partner Q bid 4 clubs. And can West commit to anything more than four diamonds? So it looks like they showed first or second round controls, and West said, I'm interested in going more. And he said, no thanks. At the other table, what they actually did is they chose to open 2 clubs and went 2 diamonds. They bid their 2 hearts, and now East jumped to 4 clubs. This showed a singleton or void club. And now when West said, hey, I'm interested, do you want to go more? East signed off, but West said, you know what, actually, I think we're good enough to actually go here. So an interesting bidding decision of, do you open at the 1 level or not? And then after that, East being able to show the singleton club made this hand pretty powerful if they could have got something useful in diamonds. And they hit a very nice hand from partner. So they've only got 4 high card points, but the king and 10 of diamonds and 4 card support is really, really powerful. So here in 6 hearts, you can trump your 2 clubs, and then you just have to navigate not losing a heart and a diamond. And the 10 of diamonds really helps with this, but also hearts are 2-2. So 6 hearts comes in here. This is a okay slam, I think. Like, if hearts are 3-1, you would need to be able to pick up the queen of diamonds. If hearts are 4-0, you're down. But that 10 of diamonds is really powerful. But I thought this was a really interesting choice of, do you open at the 1 level or do you open 2 clubs? And basically, if you've got single-suited hands, it's really powerful. If you've got big balanced hands, it's really powerful to open 2 clubs. Two-suited hands, it's really iffy for, do you open at the 1 level and try and show your suits, or do you open at the 2 level and try and show your points? Now here, after the 2 club bid and they found a good fit, 2 clubs worked an absolute treat on this hand, and they got to slam. So Norway picked up a nice slam swing here. So if we jump in and look at the results from this round, there was a bunch of really interesting ones for around about that 8th spot, and also some top of the table clashes. So Norway actually won 36-12, so won by 24. Nice handy win for this sort of high ladder clash. A really important other big clash at the top was Israel versus Netherlands, with Israel getting a nice handy win, popping themselves right up to 2nd spot. New Zealand had a good win over South Africa, so they're closing in on that 8th spot, that critical spot there. And USA 2, which was up real high, playing Australia, who was just lagging a bit behind, only had a very small win over Australia there. So Australia would probably be pretty happy with that. And Belgium actually had a win over Canada, so a nice handy win to Belgium there. Which is sort of pushing Canada down to that dangerous sort of 8th spot. Still super early, but some really interesting matches there. So let's jump in and take a look at round number 8. So for round number 8, there's a nice match between USA 2 and Switzerland. Switzerland on the top of the ladder, USA 2 pretty high up. And interesting decision. Do we open this hand? So here, the East hand here passed. And at the other table, they chose to open 1 diamond. So here, you've only got 11 points. You don't have any aces, but you do have a 5-card suit. It doesn't meet the rule of 20, which is a bit of a guideline for should you open it or not. But one of the general philosophies I use is, if it reaches the rule of 20, which is your high card points plus your 2 longer suits, I will open it. But there's a whole bunch of that I don't. that like don't reach it but are just below it. And here, I think I would lean towards not opening it. Being vulnerable, I'd probably choose to pass. So I would open this not vulnerable. That's my personal style. But as you can see, there's a bit of variation between these two teams here. But what really mattered here was who was on lead. So if I open up all the cards, getting to play by East actually protected the kings here, and importantly, this king of clubs. So here it went a diamond, South bid a spade, West bid 2 clubs, which was clearly artificial. Probably showed hearts, maybe. Not totally sure on that one. And North jumped to 4 spades. And then it went pass, pass, and West insisted on diamonds. Now, South's on lead. They've got all the cards. They've got the 2 aces. The best they can do is actually cash the ace of clubs, which they do. This holds it to 12 tricks. At the other table, here when they pass, West opens 1 diamond, and East gets to support diamonds, inverted minus showing a maximum passed hand with a diamond fit. Now South gets in there with spades, and they bid to 4 spades. West says, hey, I've got some good hearts. Do we want to play slam in hearts or diamonds? So in this spot where they've bid 3 hearts, and then they've also bid 5 hearts over 4 spades when their partnership has actually just supported diamonds. West is saying, I want to be in slam, but by the way, I've got this big 2-suitor. Do you want to be in hearts or diamonds? And now, critically, North found the killing lead of not leading a spade, but actually leading a club, which went through the king of clubs, and South got the ace queen. So they actually got to beat this. So interesting decision about whether you open it or not, how aggressive your style is, where is that mark. But here, North didn't lead the suit that they bid and raised, but instead tried clubs, which I think is a good choice, because what you want to be thinking here is West is trying for slam, given the knowledge that they, like, from North's perspective, West is expecting a spade lead and wants to be in slam given a spade lead. So a spade's probably not that likely to work, especially with East doubling, saying, hey, I want to try and defend here. But club lead trying the other suit absolutely paid dividends here, and a nice slam swing to Switzerland here. So the results from match number 8. So Australia had a good win over China, who is pushed down to the 8th spot as well. Singapore versus Israel. So Singapore had a win over Israel, who were right up the top of the ladder, whereas Singapore were sort of in that middle pack. So very important win to Singapore. And it also looks like there are a couple of fines here. It looks like Israel might have got a slow play fine is my guess, because it only adds up to 18 VPs. But importantly, massive upset here. UAE absolutely smashed Canada. Big win there. UAE down in 21st spot. Canada was up around 8th spot beforehand. So fantastic result for the UAE. So some big upsets in round number 8 there. And in round number 9, we've got a match between Netherlands and Norway. And here, both tables managed to get to 3 no trumps, and South had bid hearts along the way. Here, North hadn't supported hearts. I don't think that changes it too much. But the real question is, what should you do in the defense? So you're definitely starting with hearts. And here, South started with a heart, and then they continued with another heart. And at this stage, after their second heart one, South doesn't have any more entries to their hand. They know East is holding up the ace. Their hand is going to be completely dead. This is the last time that they're on lead. Should they continue hearts, or should they try and set up a potential suit for your partner? Now, if you continue with hearts and set up hearts, you know you won't ever get back on lead to actually enjoy your hearts. But what you're actually doing is you're giving the threat of doing it. You're making it a challenge that the opponents can't let you in, and they might take all the finesses through you, losing all their finesses to your partner. If, on the other hand, you want to switch, This is really powerful if you can find somewhere where your partner can actually get in and win some tricks. Because if you find a switch now after you've gotten a couple of hearts, if your partner just gets in one time, using that tempo to actually win a trick can actually be pretty valuable. So here Brogland switched to the Queen of Spades at this stage. Now here he didn't find his partner's suit. In fact, the Ten of Spades is pretty critical on this hand. Doesn't look like it. You got Queen Jack Doubleton. Doesn't really give anything away. But here they won the King of Spades. They took a couple of diamonds. And then after this, what they actually did was they led the 10 of clubs and then just ducked this to North. And no matter what happens, North has to either lead a club into the Ace Queen or a spade into the Ace 10. And they're going to get extra tricks here. At the other table, what actually happened was they started with the King of Hearts, they continued Hearts, and then they just set up the Heart suit. They went for the alternate approach where you just set up Hearts and threaten for your side to be able to get back in with Hearts here and keep going. But one of the key things here is it's awkward for the West to find a discard. And importantly, they actually threw a spade away, not thinking that the Queen Jack of Spades was going to fall doubleton very often. And they wanted to hold on to their 5-card club suit, which could provide extra tricks that way. So continuing the Heart posed a discard problem for West here. And you can make it from this stage, but it's pretty difficult. They just ran the 10 of clubs, knowing that it would lose to the safe hand, hoping that they could eventually set up the long club suit. Because if you can even just lose 2 clubs, just losing to the North hand, but set up your long clubs, you'll be okay here. So they can switch to a spade. They then played another club, and here, when South shows out, that's actually disaster there. You're actually going down from the stage, so you can cash your diamonds, but then you can't throw them in at all, and 3-0 goes down 1. But I thought this was a really interesting choice of, do you continue your suit or not when you know you don't actually have an entry? And sometimes it's right to continue it and pose that threat and make them think, okay, let's just safely finesse into our partner, even though every one of those finesses loses. Or do you use that tempo to try and get tricks in partner's suit, set up their suit, and hope that maybe they've only got one entry there? So let's look at the results from today. So in the final round, some of the important matches was New Zealand had a good win over Singapore there. Brazil got all 20 VPs off the home side, Morocco there. Netherlands actually had a decent win over Norway. And Ireland beat India. So a nice, important match here for sort of this 8th spot. A couple of these battles in here. But at the end of the day, Switzerland's in first, USA 2 second, and Poland in third in the Bermuda Bowl. In the women's, the Venice Cup, Poland in first, Sweden in second, and Turkey in third. In the seniors, the Diorsi Trophy, Denmark in first, Poland in second, USA in third. And in the Wuhan Cup, the mixed teams, Chinese Taipei in first, China in second, USA in third. Thanks all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.